Welcome to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming with your hosts, Taylor
and Q.
Nuclear launch detected.
90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming does not represent the views of WWSP, 90 FM, or the University of Wisconsin school system. The views expressed and the information given in this broadcast can be used at the sole risk of the listener.
Listening to this broadcast is guaranteed to increase your wisdom by 5 points.
The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Hey, listen!
Hello, and welcome to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming here on WWSP Stevens Point. If you've never tuned in to our show before, we are a video game talk show. We go over current events in video games, things pertaining to actual games, culture, video gamers, video game companies, pretty much anything you can think of. I am host number 1, Taylor, alongside our other host, Q, and if you found us, congratulations. We forgot to post on Facebook before the show.
Forgot to yell on
we're sorry.
The 90 FM Facebook page and the 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming Facebook page. If you're listening and you are a regular fan of the show, hooray, you remembered our time.
Yes, congratulations.
It is 5 o'clock. You were listening to WWSP, Stevens Point. This is 90 FM. Just reiterating.
Yep, doubling up.
It is Wednesday, September 28th, 2011. You're listening to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming.
It's true, you are.
You are.
Congratulations. We have a giveaway this week. That has come back, yes.
We had done a giveaway 2 weeks ago, and then we did not have anything to give away last week. 2 weeks ago, a listener, Kelly, won.
Yes, and then he was our guest the week after that.
So we have another win awesome thing. Would you like to state who gave us the awesome gift certificate?
One of our fantastic sponsors. Well, can we call them fantastic? One of our sponsors.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
One of our sponsors, Tech Lounge, actually donated. It is, I believe, 1 hour. I can't check anymore because we sealed the envelope, which was not our wisest move, I don't think.
No.
But
so it's a mystery
yes.
prize.
Oh, yes. It could, for all you know, it could be somewhere between 1 in a million. I'm saying 1 though, just to be safe. But yes, that's the case. We'll do that at the halftime of our show.
Or it's $5 fun. It could be anything in there.
It could. Yeah, technically, I mean, there could be a game inside of this. Someone could have actually opened this.
I don't know if the envelope is that big.
There could be a new envelope in there. It could be a DS game.
They're saying there's a bigger envelope inside the tiny envelope?
Oh, that is what it is. You're right. Okay, that makes sense.
No.
You ever read House of Leaves?
No, I did not.
Okay, no, that's something similar. But anyway, we should probably get to something pertaining to actual video games here. How do we want to start? Do we want to start by ripping on Modern Warfare 3? That's always fun to do. Just ripping on Call of Duty.
That's the big story. That's the big story. No, we want to save that big story.
Okay, we'll save it. We're going to
rant about that for a while. That's going to be that if you're out there in the world and you know about this Modern Warfare Pepsi Doritos thing.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
And by
if
little,
you have
even
an
a
opinion
lot.
on it, you can always yell at us on the 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming page. We'll talk.
Or you can call during our breaks.
We're not affiliated with Facebook in any way. Well, during the break, we're having the contest.
That is true. That is true. So no, don't clog up the lines during that point. Because I mean, we'll probably be getting at least like 3 or 4 calls.
Oh, we had more than that last time.
We did. That's true. All right. Do we want to start then with the resurfacing of this whole Scrolls battle between Mojang?
We can't. I do not know the story that is in front of you. I did not read it. I had heard
It's very short. It's very short. But I mean, this had kind of almost dissipated for a little while. Mm-hmm. Like it was a big thing for a bit and then kind of disappeared. We didn't hear much about it. But it looks like the battle between Mojang and Bethesda, or more specifically ZeniMax, is going to court finally, because they are claiming that they infringe upon Elder Scrolls V Skyrim's trademark by naming their game Scrolls. Notch cheerily announced on the Twitter later that God, I feel old. But anyways, that the Scrolls case is going to court. D, capital D, smiley face. I mean, yeah. But so he's apparently treating this like he's been treating it the rest of the time. And he's assuming that he's hoping that it's not lawyers being lawyers, which is what we've kind of been told the whole situation was since the start.
Notch probably picked up. I don't know. Do you think Notch has his own lawyers, or do you go with the Electronic Frontier Foundation?
I don't know, actually. He could probably rely a little bit on them just because he's been helping. He at least helped out with the last Humble Indie Bundle, which is something we'll talk about later. There's another of those coming around now, actually, so not coming around. What are you searching for, by the way?
I'm typing on Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
Doing 90-related things.
Oh, yes, of course. But that's pretty much all we know about this right now. They're hoping that it can be settled outside of court at some point, and Notch keeps bringing up the Quake thing, but that's not happening, especially because he'd just get crushed in that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because,
they own it.
Yeah, they actually created Quake.
Yeah,
so,
it gets hard to win then.
Yeah, quite difficult to win in that instance. So, yeah, that's kind of the law around Notch segment of our show, which we've done, I think, 5 or 6 times now.
Yeah, just as this story keeps like popping up and then kind of fading away again. I'm sure at some point something actually exciting will happen with it, but right now they're kind of dancing around each other.
Nothing exciting will ever happen from it, I'm sorry to say.
I really don't know that Bethesda is going to back down at this point, or ZeniMax is going to back down.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
All right, so do we want to talk, since we've mentioned it real quick, do we want to talk about the new Humble Indie Bundle? Or
We
Frozen
can.
Byte, actually?
Many weeks ago, we talked at very long length about the Humble Indie Bundle number 3.
Tris.
And they made thousands and thousands and thousands of fun dollars. I believe they are over 2 million fun dollars total they've made for charity, just the 2 charities.
That is impressive.
Over all the bundles put together. And the next one has just come out today. You have 14 days, 53 minutes, and like 30 seconds from this time you're hearing me right now. I'm going with the delay that you're hearing me on the internet, which is about 10 seconds.
We're taking that into account.
We are.
We're going deep.
And they've sold, as of today so far, 46,176, 177, 178, 179, 181, 182. So they're selling about 2 or 3 a second.
Well, these are seriously becoming some of the biggest things on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, if people like know what Reddit is, it's the number one thing on there, and it stays there for a while.
Because you're getting a video game, plus you're donating to charity.
And it's however much you want, so it's crazy.
We normally would buy the bundle on air, but we did not think of that in time. So maybe next week we will.
I'm sorry. Also, I'm personally unsure of this one because there's one game that's really interesting, but last time when you broke the boundary, you got like one of the old ones again, and I don't want the other Frozen Byte one again because I don't know what I would do with it.
Because you'd have 2.
Yeah, I'd have
just
2.
give it to me.
I could actually. I might do that then. We'll see.
I mean,
Or you could get it yourself.
Or we could give it away.
Lazy guy.
We could give it away.
We could. Ooh, we could do a giveaway with that. That's
We're
a
giving away
possibility.
something that would then, if their money would go to charity. No, we're not going to give it away.
I guess,
We're
yeah.
going to let it go to waste.
I guess. All right. But that's it. What's the headliner game?
The headliner game is there's only one game with this bundle. The last bundle you got 14 games.
Well, technically you can get 6 games with this,
Yes.
right? Because you can get the old bundle.
And, of course, since it's just starting out today, I'm assuming this bundle is going to increase quite exponentially in the amount of games that is going to be offered. It might grow linearly.
And I
not
think they
exponentially.
usually grandfather you in, too,
Yeah.
when they add
Yeah.
stuff, so.
The only game that you're getting this time is Frozen Synapse, and Frozen Synapse is being reviewed by everybody as really high in the 90s.
No, I've heard it's amazing, yeah.
It's like a tactical turn-based, like a squad thing where you control multiple units on a map and you attempt to beat the enemy. That's pretty much it.
It's a complex, concept.
Yeah, pretty complex. All the games work on all the systems, Macs, Linux, and Windows. There's no DRM, so you get the games forever. They are always yours. You can support charity. The 2 charities are the Electronic Frontier Foundation and Child's Play. As we've spoken many times before, Child's Play gives video games to sick kids. What is nicer than that? I don't know.
I can't think of too many other things.
'Cause
Sick kids are pretty much the perfect
curing
thing
the
to
disease,
give to.
but they've been trying to do that with many diseases
and
for a very long
There's
time.
not much video games can do in terms of. Well, actually, no. Did we even talk about that? There was. They were trying to figure out how, like, the structure of proteins, and they made a Flash game out of it, basically. And everyone would play it, and they basically used people for computing. It was crazy. Like,
I played that one where you learn how cells use proteins and stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, this one, it was computation. They figured out something new that they couldn't figure out before because enough people played this game that they finally just, it was like having a computer just sit there and work on it forever. You can look up the story if you want.
I might do that.
Yes, we can bring that up later once we actually have details, because that I just remember that in passing. But I think that's pretty much all there is about the Frozen Byte bundle. I would really like to mention, just because we talk about Facebook games all the time, you know Zynga, right? The company. They make a bunch of these Facebook
they
games,
make all the Facebook games.
Farmville, all that. Their profits apparently dropped in the last term by 95%. Like, they just disappeared. Apparently, everyone is bored of Facebook games now, which is really funny because there was a lot of talk of that being like the next wave of games.
That's crazy. Because I mean, they made literally everything. Farmville was just huge. I mean,
Farmville was massive.
You walk into like GameStop and you'd see gift cards for Farmville for Facebook credits.
No, it was absolutely insane.
How much exactly did it all drop?
95% for profits.
What was it at?
It doesn't say. This is just a quick overlook on it. We can go back to it next week in detail if we really need to. But yes, it's substantial. That's pretty crazy. Though, I mean, when's the last time you really heard people talk about playing Facebook games? I really don't hear that. That seems to have disappeared.
A lot of old ladies.
I guess, but I don't think old ladies is a substantial enough video game market.
Medium-aged ladies.
Okay. Old comparatively.
Facebook moms.
Facebook moms.
I guess that is a qualifier because I had an ex-girlfriend's mom who did nothing but Farmville. I am not joking. I'm not joking. So if you're listening right now, I think Judy, I think your name was. This was a long time ago. Yeah, you played a lot of Farmville. It was quite quite strange.
There's her 5 minutes of fame right there. She made it on the air.
No, literally, I just walk in the house and she was sitting there playing Farmville. That's all she did.
No, that I 100% believe that.
And I don't know if people do that anymore. Back when Farmville was brand new, people did that. I had friends here on campus. I'd see them. I walk in the computer lab. That's all they were doing.
Yep, which I can't judge them because I would do that with Minecraft.
And when the game came out, I was playing Farmville also. When
really?
It was brand new.
You actually played Farmville?
Yeah, when it was brand new.
I've literally never played Farmville for any consistent time.
I thought it'd be like Harvest Moon.
Really?
When it first came out, I truly felt that.
I was not expecting Harvest Moon out of it just because I just didn't expect that kind of quality out of it. I kind of walked in biased, though. I was not expecting a good game, and then I walked away very quickly. Yep, yeah. But apparently we're not going to be seeing that too much more. That's pretty much totally crushed. Did you ever find we were looking up the one thing earlier, right? It was something. Oh, it was Zynga's original profits.
Oh, Zynga's profits?
Yeah. If we can find that, would be cool, but otherwise, we can talk about Skyrim. We have a lot of Skyrim stuff here.
We have a lot of Skyrim.
Tons of Skyrim news. Here, we'll do the Zynga thing first, though, so we don't hop around too much.
I'm actually reading a few places 90 to 95% drops in profits.
Okay, so not a completely precise value.
That's an extremely huge number. Hello, Mason. Walking around the main studio.
Mason walking around the studio. Just doing what he can.
Just cleaning.
Yep.
Doing his
Mason, our janitor.
Yes, Mason the janitor of 90 FM, station manager and custodian and general housekeeper. Leaves things laying around when he's yelling at other people to clean up stuff.
All right.
He's listening right now, probably.
All right. So yes, Zynga's original profits. They show up.
The net income of Zynga of this last quarter was an income of $1.4 million of a revenue of $279 million.
Wow. Dollars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they made a revenue of $280 million fun dollars.
That's intense.
This is Zynga, the people who make Facebook
Farmville
games.
And I think Mafia Wars. There were a couple
every
of them.
Facebook game that you can see that's not PopCap games is these guys. The previous quarter they were 16.7 million fun dollars. So they went from 16.7 to 1.4, and then the previous quarter before that was 43.
Wow, that is an insane drop.
So went 43, 16, and 1. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of money they lost.
That is incredibly
Zynga stated
huge.
They had 228 million monthly active users on all of its games as of June 30th, which is down from 236 million in March. I have no idea what their statement is now, but many reports state that they are down to 195 million players.
Have they even launched a new game, though, in a long time? What have they been launching? I haven't even heard of most of the games that come out. Like, I really remember just the giant, hubbub around Farmville
naturally,
and Mafia
you have to
Wars
know
and all of
the
them.
games that are around Farmville. You have to know Mafia Wars. They have Cityville. They have Empires and Allies, which I've heard good things about. Adventure World, I played a little bit of just to try it out. Naturally, like Farmville, you pay for this, you pay for that, you pay for this, you pay for that.
Yep.
Texas Hold'em Poker. They also design games for MySpace and a few other sites. Yeah. Reportedly valued at 15 to 20 billion fund dollars. They're dropping steadily, as we just stated.
I don't know if they're going to even exist after a little bit because I don't know where they can switch to.
Way too quickly. They acquired many studios across the world. So, Zynga, when they made Farmville, was probably just Zynga in San Francisco. They just built a 270,000 square feet headquarters under renovation. That's done now. They bought the old Sega offices. They have a Zynga India, Zynga Los Angeles, Zynga China, Zynga Austin, which was originally Challenge Games, Zynga Boston, which was Conduit Labs, Zynga Japan, Zynga Germany, Dallas. Oh, another one in Texas, another one in New York, Seattle, Floodgate Entertainment, which they bought just recently, and Zynga Toronto.
Holy cow.
So they bought all this stuff. That's why their profits have dropped so dramatically.
Well, that and the fact that people have stopped playing, and I don't think they can do anything about that.
Well, they went from 43.16 to 1 million fund dollars.
Yeah.
And they bought, there are 12, 13 different companies they own now.
Are those
in
companies
9 different countries?
Are they at least companies that might be able to stand up for the stand up once Farmville's gone? Because otherwise, there's just going to be a whole lot of people that are
they replicate the
getting
same
resold.
game over and over again. If you look at Cityville, it's the same exact graphics engine and everything that had Farmville.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Mafia Wars was pretty much text-based.
Aren't pretty much. Well, it wasn't. I never played those games.
Yeah, it was. It was picture and text based. There wasn't even like an actual graphical world. There might be now.
Everybody played that too. Everybody sent me a freaking invite for Mafia Wars like every week. So
yeah.
I guess you can only make quick money for a little while before people finally get bored of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, they've made tons and tons of games, and most of these games are just repeats of the previous one. Excuse me. Tons of major companies have invested in them. Digital Sky Technologies is a very huge company. They invested $180 million fund dollars in Zynga. SoftBank and Google invested a combined $300 million fund dollars. I'm surprised Google would have made that investment, but they apparently did.
Everybody thought that was going to be the next big wave of games, though.
Everybody
that's
really the reason
thought
EA
that
bought PopCap Games.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's truly it. I mean, why else would EA have bought them if they wouldn't have thought that these games? Because PopCap has a huge following. I mean, PopCap.
Yeah, but PopCap doesn't.
Plants vs. Zombies just a little
exactly.
bit ago.
But that doesn't just target the Facebook audience.
No, PopCap Games is on way more than Facebook.
Exactly. But Zynga was totally different.
Zynga was purely Facebook and MySpace.
Zynga was actually on MySpace?
Yeah.
Oh.
MySpace still exists.
MySpace is still there? My God.
But, I mean, they replicate the previous games, remake them over and over and over again. The game quality is just so low. They basically, I believe, here's a good quote from Georgia Tech professor Egan Bogus, was criticizing Zynga, saying that the game that they keep creating is they strip mine the previous game to make a new one.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be cost effective for them if they had to try to make a whole new game around it.
No, but when you open up I'm just going to count the countries: United States, India, China, Japan, Germany, and Canada. I mean, that's a big corporation.
It's a huge company, and now it's going to be a huge company that's going to disappear almost immediately.
It's going to be like Napster. It's going to be gone in like 8 years. And the people are going to be like, actually, no, January 2007 is when they were founded.
Really?
As a private company.
So they're not even going to make it 8 years. They're not even going to make it close to 8 years, I don't think, then.
No, dude, they're dropping like a rock.
I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's kind of mean, but it is kind of funny to see them.
They make crappy games. I'm going to laugh about
They make
it as
absolutely terrible games.
The only... In even the owner, the creator of Zynga Games, came out and said, the only reason we make these games is because we know that the people who are going to play them are going to be able to nickel and dime them. That's the only reason he came out and said that.
Well, it's because, I mean, the game itself was almost nothing until you started paying for all this random stuff. So you got brought in by a promise of a free game, and then paid like.
Do you want a pear tree?
Do I want a pear tree?
Yes.
I would not pay real world money for a fake pear tree. I gotta say.
Well,
I think that's why I missed this whole fad.
If you tell 20 of your friends, you can have the pear tree for free. That's actually what they did. Isn't that funny? And
it is, but it was
profits
incredibly
are
annoying.
down 95%.
Well,
I feel no remorse.
Well, it's about as close to a Ponzi scheme as video games can have. I mean, you can't get that much closer to that.
When a game that makes Facebook games is valued at $20 billion fund dollars, and they make $1 million in profit, something is wrong. Something is wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
The company is $20 billion, and they make $1 million.
Well, they spread themselves absurdly thin. They must have thought that they were going to be able to keep suckering people much longer than they were actually able to. I really think they could have lasted if they would have at least made the game seem substantially different each time. You look like you're reacting very hardly to something.
Apparently, they even have a new program set up with Zynga called the Platinum Purchase Program, which allows members to purchase virtual currency in amounts of over $500 by making a wire transfer.
Wow.
Wow. So you can buy Facebook credits in amounts of more than $500 fund dollars.
You can make a $500 fund wire transfer. It's like it is gambling. That's basically the same market it's coming towards.
The author of the post who unveiled that this thing was happening expected the program was a way for gaming addicts to feed their obsession, compared to the secrecy of a program for the secrecy of drug deals.
Wow.
That is brutal.
And then they disappeared.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right,
Well,
wow.
the learning company was suing them. We talked about Oregon Trail before, because they
made their own versions.
Frontierville.
Yeah. Yep. Weren't there like 12 different versions of Oregon Trail on Facebook?
But if they were the exact versions of Oregon Trail, that's all that mattered.
Oh, okay.
Because when you played those versions on Facebook, they were Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
They were. But Frontierville was, your wagon wheel broke? Spend 15 Facebook credits to fix it. Or, you can just die of dysentery. Yeah, I mean...
That'd be a dangerous game, actually, to have real money on the line for, because I died so much in that game, because you were supposed to.
You're supposed to die.
Yeah,
it was a learning game.
Well, you know what? I bet really rich people didn't die on that trip. I will say that.
Really rich people never went to the West Coast. They knew they didn't have to.
They did once there was a train, I guess.
That's where the poor people left to go to the West.
This makes sense.
The Eastern people were like, let's drink coffee and tea. And we're sitting there like, can we at least have, like, some grain?
No, you get 3 oxen and a broken yoke. All right, we actually hit the halfway point with that story. That was surprising.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Zynga, we don't like you because you are a bad company. You are what personifies the evil in the essence of video games. If you are listening to me right now, these opinions are purely my own.
We didn't say that, yeah.
And no one else.
Nobody else.
These opinions are purely our own. They don't reflect WWSP 90 FM. They don't reflect the UW Board of Regents, UW Stevens Point, the state of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, the SEC. They don't.
Johnson & Johnson.
Nobody. These are purely of my own, and I dislike you as much as I can dislike a company.
I will strongly agree with that claim.
I mean, you made one game, and then you make 40 copies of it, and you make $20 billion fund dollars.
That sounds like jealousy to me. I just think they're kind of words that I can't use on air.
It's not jealousy. If you know me, I'd make a game that would be the best game I could make.
Fair enough, yes. That's what you see in the majority of gaming, too. But
and they steal other games from other people. Though they did donate a bunch of money with all the earthquakes and stuff that have happened, but... No. I'm sorry, the 2,000 employees that you have do not work for a reputable company in my terms in any way. And I dislike EA and stuff too, and I dislike Zynga way more.
I would actually agree with that too. I have my problems with EA, but companies like Zynga they're basically just parasitic.
Yeah, there's no other term to use. There really isn't. But that's our rant on
That was it was a good rant. It was a good rant. Do we want to go to halftime here so we can do our giveaway?
We can. 90 terabytes of alternative gaming is brought to you by two sponsors right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Sponsor numero uno, the gift giver that you will be possibly trying to get here soon. I'm going to say the phone number right now so you can be ready. The phone number for us is 715-346-2696. When we play the song, you have the ability to call us if you want to and tell us the name of the game. This one's a little easier than the previous one. All you have to do is say the name of the game.
Yes, no location in the game.
Nope.
Do we want to give a hint then by saying where it is in the game?
We will. We will talk about our sponsors real quick.
Okay.
90 terabytes of alternative gaming. The show you're currently listening to is brought to you by the Tech Lounge LLC, located right downtown in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, at 1036 Main Street, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. 54481 if you care about the area code that much. They're open Tuesday to Saturday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. and Sundays from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. They're not open on Mondays. They are a game center coffee house, like a modern age arcade.
It's true.
We will be there later tonight, attempting
pretty much right after the show.
Win the contest. You basically pay them money and play video games for as long as you'd like on the money that you gave them. They have special deals daily, and the bus stop is right now in town. Their phone number, I believe I can state, is 715-544-4800. And their website, if you wanted to go there, is www.techloungesp.com. That's Tech Lounge LLC, located right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And our other sponsor of 90 terabytes of alternative gaming is Gaming Generations. Gaming Generations is also located right downtown Stevens Point. They are a unique experience where you can basically buy and trade in your old video games and buy brand new video games. They have video game contests. They also sell DVDs, Atari games, all modern gaming types of things.
Tons of old games, yes.
They are open until 9 p.m. on Monday through Saturday. Start 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays they're 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Their website is gaminggenerations.com. They are located right behind Perkins and McDonald's,
yes.
Right next to the Kmart next to campus at 135 Division Street, Stevens Point, Wisconsin, 54481. And their phone number is 715-254-9990.
It's true.
And those are our two sponsors. We like to thank them for all of their awesome generosity.
Thank you.
FM. I believe we can say that because there's no call to action.
Yes.
I made sure.
It's just a thank you.
So our prize that we're giving away today is a mystery prize. We know it's about...
I looked through. I looked through it using some light here. I did some detective work, and I found out that it is $5 fun for the Tech Lounge.
So you can get $5 fun worth of food, 5 times fun worth of video games.
Flexibility has been added.
You can get balls there. You can get lots of things.
He means an energy drink when he says that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or gigantic bouncy balls. I'm not entirely certain.
All right. So let's get ready to go into the song here. The number once again, 715-346-2696. You just have to tell us what the song is from. Do we want to say where in the game it is?
It's at the start.
Yes, it's the intro this time.
We're going to give you a hint. The second you put the cartridge into the game system, you will hear this.
After the intro, it's got console things pop across the screen, yada yada.
So you're not going to be hearing, the logo of whatever console we're playing on. It's a very old game. Many people have played it. It's rated one of the higher games of all time. I absolutely adored it. It was one of the hardest games I've ever played.
It's impossible almost.
It's pretty much impossible. I'm gonna give it that. But we'll love all your answers. 715-346-2696. You'll either hear me or Taylor answer. So thank you for listening to 9 terabytes of alternative gaming. We'll be back in about 2.5 minutes after the song is completed. So here is the song, and please call in with the correct answers if you have them. If you want to call in with the correct answers, you can have the right answer and just sit there and not answer your phone.
That's true.
It's up to you. That is perfectly up to you. So here is the song here on 90 FM, your only alternative
for gaming. Caught me off guard.
90 terabytes of alternative gaming does not represent the views of WWSP, 90 FM, or the University of Wisconsin school system. The views expressed and the information given in this broadcast can be used at the sole risk of the listener. I mean, let's face it, the opinion of these two guys is about as pristine as Wikipedia. After all, their source is the internet. And now, back to the show.
Hello and welcome back to 90 terabytes of alternative gaming here on 90 FM. Your only alternative, I guess, for gaming, since normally he says the first part of that. But yes, we are a video game talk show, and we just did another giveaway.
And we had a winner!
Yes, and I
Hooray,
forgot
winner.
to ask if I could say his name. So we
Yes.
can't tell you who won, because I am unintelligent that way.
Winner of the prize, you can yell on your review that you gave us if you want us to say your name.
Yes, do we want to go over his review as well then, as long as we're...
We can.
We have a review on the page again. Thank you. By the way, we love when we get these. These are really
Yes.
cool. And this one is for Kirby Mass Attack.
He
which
says
is,
we can say his name.
we can say his name. Okay,
Yes.
then Chris Ramlow is the one who won this particular giveaway for the Tech Lounge gift certificate, and he also gave us the review for Kirby Mass Attack. Q has it right in front of him. I remember the final score being, I believe, 91.825. Did I nail that?
Yes, yeah, it's right on. Right on.
Got it.
What, 91 and like 7/8?
I think that is 7/8, yeah. I don't have a calculator
6/8.
on me.
No, 7/8. Yeah, 7/8.
That sounds right.
It's around there. But basically, Chris Ramlow gave us his massive review, and you are welcome out there in the listening world to do as much or as little as you want.
Yes.
On the 90 terabytes of alternative gaming Facebook page.
We do enjoy reading these reviews,
Give
though.
all
It's a
your
lot of fun.
reviews to us. We'll love to talk about them. He states that it's a very odd game. The usual Kirby is to inhale enemies and copy their powers. But basically, you start in this game with 10 different clones of themselves and 9 are destroyed. A star appears that leads Kirby to stop evil, which is the normal,
That's pretty much,
that's
Kirby
how
games
Kirby
in general.
normally goes. You show Kirby where you want him to go, such as eat food, attack enemy. So essentially, it looks like
Almost
you are
point
not
and
in
click.
control of Kirby himself. You are in control of the star. You control 10 Kirbys at once and each have 2 hits. That sounds actually kind of cool. The 4 worlds of what I've seen or explore are very easy puzzles to solve. The difficulty is very low, but that's
how Kirby games
That's how Kirby's are.
You play Kirby games for like interesting little things about it rather than a challenge,
Yep.
which, I mean, that's what I think what makes them good. So
Yep. He says that there's some very cool little things, very small unlocking things. If you want to go for the 100% of the medals, obviously it'll be a lot harder. Fun pinball games, shoot 'em ups, a few others. The game also has a host of very catchy tunes, but that's one thing that's always come with Nintendo games.
yes, Nintendo is amazing with their music in the games.
Yep, and the fully functional music room, which is very cool. He says, overall, I adore this Kirby game, and it's been on the easy side for some, but the departure from the normal Kirby usual road. But if you really just sit back and enjoy a well-made game, it's an extremely fun ride that would be the shame to miss. His verdict is a 91.825 out of 100.
I'm really glad that the 3 decimals caught on.
Yes.
Because it's a very precise grading method. You
Yes.
can't reach that level otherwise.
Yes, you can. Okay.
Or, no, you can't, actually, is what you meant, if you were trying to agree. Unless we were debating.
Sure.
All right,
Sure.
do we wish to talk about Skyrim now, or do we want to talk about Call of Duty being kind of jerkish?
We got another comment right
Oh,
here on our
jeez.
Facebook from
They're everywhere.
Mr. Cameron, the previous DJ you just listened
Yes,
to, so I'm going
actually.
to say his name because
Yeah.
he just was on. He says, don't forget about Fishville when we were talking about Zynga Games.
There's a game called Fishville?
Yeah, there's a game called Fishville. I'm assuming you
It's
own
like a fish
an
tank.
aquarium.
Yeah.
And you do the same thing that you would do in Farmville or Adventureville or Frontierville or... I don't even want to talk about this company anymore. I don't even want to talk about this
It's
company
like
anymore.
unhealthy hobbies, but more expensive.
It's not even a hobby. Video gaming is a hobby.
Yes. But,
What we're doing right here is a hobby.
yeah.
Paying money to someone to get
to
a
give you
tree,
fake things,
to
yeah.
get a tree in a game is not a hobby. It is extortion.
Extortion may be a strong word. I will call it just like...
Not really.
Really?
You're convincing a bunch of people, and you're dealing with people who are not in the video game world. You're dealing with a bunch of
you're dealing with people who
Facebook
normally
mothers.
have not played games.
You're
Yes.
dealing with people who are definitely older than the age of 30. Definitely, most of them are older than the age of 40. You're telling them you could play this game with all your friends at work.
For free.
When I come back from work from Kmart, which I believe was the woman that I was in question I was talking about before, and you sit there and you play with your friends.
Yeah.
Because you're not at work anymore. What else are you gonna do? And so, if I want to have this tree to show off to my friends at work,
I better start paying for it.
Yeah, extortion.
I guess. It's just it's a harsh word to have to tie to anything.
This is one of the few times I would like to tie it to this.
All right. So Zynga,
Yes.
extortionists.
So we're going to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We have one little bit of good news and one bit of gigantic horrible news.
Go over the good news first. Everyone likes to do it that way.
No.
Really?
No. We're
Okay.
gonna go over the big.
We'll
the
do
big evil
bad
news.
first, and then we'll do a pick-me-up afterwards.
Yes.
All right. Like we said, this has to do a lot with Mountain Dew, or Pepsi, who owns Mountain Dew,
Yep.
and Doritos. And basically what it is those two companies are doing insane, like, I don't know if it's technically, like, they basically just doing advertising through
cross-advertising.
it. Yeah, they're advertising through Call of Duty. Or with Call of Duty, by doing, like, you know how, like, all sorts of pop caps, or, like, when you open a bottle, you'll have the code on the bottom or whatever, and you can get, like, a lawnmower if you buy 4 billion bottles of Pepsi or something like that. They're switching that now. Instead, if you buy a Mountain Dew package, you can get a certain amount of time. You can get, let's see, what is it?
You have the times written in the graph.
For a 20-pack, you get 90 minutes of double experience time in Call of Duty. So by buying more Mountain Dew, your character becomes better. And that
Yeah, so by drinking and eating Mountain Dew and Doritos,
Yes.
respectively, you can get extra time in the game where you can get double experience points.
Yes.
So, first of all, I'm not even going to go into the fact that America is way overweight in every single shape and term. Especially
And those are terrible things to be trying to,
half of the video game community is just not in shape in any way. Half the other video game community just has so high metabolism as it doesn't matter. Me and you.
The beauty of the hyper kid body.
You're basically enabling all of these 12-year-old, 16-year-old kids the reason to go to Walmart and buy Mountain Dew. Drink as much Mountain Dew as
so you can do
possibly
better in Call of Duty.
Drink as many Doritos, or eat as many Doritos. Drink as many Doritos. Eat as many Doritos
put
as
'em in
you
a blender.
possibly can, and then get to play Call of Duty.
Yep.
Now, first of all, what Mountain Dew used to do with their promotions back when the Xbox came out. I don't know if you remember that promotion.
Was
and
that
the caps where you put the caps on their website?
Was that like the Game Fuel launch and all that too?
That was in there too.
Yeah, okay.
Like tie-ins, like when World of Warcraft expansion came out, there was a Mountain Dew themed, Mountain or the World of Warcraft themed Mountain Dews. This is taking it way beyond the level that No. So essentially, you wouldn't know when you're playing this game now that if somebody you're playing against is really good or someone who is really overweight and drinks and eats
a lot of
Mountain
Mountain Dew and
Doritos.
Doritos.
Now, I do not like this in any shape or form.
No, it's totally ridiculous on every level. I mean, it's ridiculous from the view of the other gamers. If someone doesn't like Mountain Dew, suddenly they have a disadvantage in Call of Duty, which seems
someone who
utterly
actually
ridiculous.
cares about their health.
Yeah, someone's like, I'm going to eat an apple, and they're like, well, you're not going to be level 20 till tomorrow.
Our opinions are purely our own.
They
don't
purely
reflect WWSP 90 FM, the current radio station you're currently listening to. They don't reflect UW Stevens Point, the Board of Regents, State of Wisconsin, or Pepsi,
Mason Mielmans,
or they don't reflect Frito-Lay. They don't reflect Activision. They don't reflect anybody that we're talking about. These opinions are purely our own. But this is outrageous. You buy
horrible food.
You buy a Mountain Dew and you get 15 minutes of double XP time. You buy a 24-pack of Mountain Dew and you get how much? 90 minutes?
A 20-pack is 90 minutes. Yeah.
You buy 20 Mountain Dews and you get 90 minutes.
Yeah. You get 15 minutes just for buying like a fountain cup of Mountain Dew or Pepsi product.
How much is it for a pack of Doritos?
A pack of Doritos? I have literally no idea.
It says it in there. This is so absurd that I can't
Combo
even
bonus.
fathom that they're actually doing this. I'm
confused by this. It's Mountain Dew's plus Doritos, and you get an extra 15 minutes
So you get
for
30.
doing it. Yeah.
Or you get 100 and 115.
Also, there's apparently combat cards that are getting tied in there.
Wait, what?
There's something called combat cards, where if you have, like, I think it has to be paired up. It doesn't, I can't find it in the actual article, but it says one set of combat cards gives you 15 minutes, and all 3 sets gives you 90 minutes. It's just, it's completely ridiculous. This isn't something I expected to see from Modern Warfare, especially with the way they've been marketing lately.
They've been trying to market as best as they can to try to beat Battlefield.
I think they kind of gave up.
Yeah, this is kind of giving up because I am not even going to touch this game now.
Yeah, it's so
to.
absurdly gimmicky. I've never I'll call things a gimmick when I don't fully like approve of it. Like I sometimes will call like motion controls gimmicky, but to the extent of this, those are not even gimmicks at all. Those are awesome compared to pairing up with like soft drinks and chips.
Well, I think it's Frito-Lay and Mountain Dew.
To give you a head start in the video game, like a very strong head start. Getting double experience in this game is a big deal because that's how you get like your weapons. That's how you get everything. If you're getting double of it, you're going to be a substantially better character, and that's a guarantee. Which is that's utterly ridiculous.
Wow. And
this is on top of having the Call of Duty Elite.
Yeah, the Call of Duty Elite, the Elite program is something completely different. The Call of Duty Elite program will let you see your stats when Halo gave it to us for free, and I'm assuming Battlefield is also going to give it to us for free.
Supposedly, you can get a certain amount of it for free. It's extra stuff that you have to pay for, and the extra stuff is like there's apparently going to be like a mini series and all this weird stuff that they're tying to it, which is once again it's all gimmicks. And it's very strange to me. I don't know. I thought Call of Duty was trying very hard recently to undo what they looked like at the beginning from all this Elite talk, but then they just like compounded it with this. They just totally went
The article
off
we
the
were reading
walls.
was from Forbes magazine.
Really? Forbes
The
took
one
notice of this.
Yes, this is that big now that Forbes took notice. I'm looking at other sites to see how mad other people are. I'm even mad at you, Doritos. I'm mad at you. I love you, but I'm mad at you.
Though I'm very confused as to Doritos' role in this. Apparently, you only you have to buy Mountain Dew in order for the Doritos to come into play, which I don't fully understand. But
yeah.
I don't have that strong of a desire to completely understand it either. So
no, I'm not. I'm not playing you now. I was going to, but I'm not anymore. That was the final line. I am sorry. I am sorry, Call of Duty. You have officially lost me as a customer. The nice news that we were going to tell you now that I learned even more about this bad
I don't even know
news.
what this nice news is,
The
so
nice
I'm looking
news
forward
is
to it.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, if you pre-order it, you get Call of Duty 4 for free.
Really?
Which is actually quite nice.
That is
'Cause
kind of
Call
cool.
of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, was an amazing game.
Yeah, no, that got great reviews all across the board. It was pretty much what made Modern Warfare as famous, or Call of Duty as famous as it is,
And if
I
you
would say.
pre-order the game right now, I believe on Steam and a few other places, you can get it for free right now.
Right meow?
Right now.
Right meow.
Right now. Right now.
Huh.
So you console people, you're never going to get a free copy of it because that would be so much paperwork and etc. But they can give it to you for free on the internet.
The interwebs.
Yes. Yeah, this whole news about Modern Warfare doing this does not make me happy. Not at all.
Not even a wee bit. No, it is like, I don't know. For some reason, I wanted to have some confidence in that game after a while because I almost felt bad for beating up on it. And then I was like, oh, no, look, they're doing all these cool things. This might be an interesting game. And then that unhappened very, very, very fast.
Yeah, I can't.
Whatever. At least there's still Battlefield out there for everybody who actually wants a game like this.
I don't know. That was both of us shrugging to each other, those who can't actually see that since we're on the radio.
It's hard to really react to this like in any eloquent manner. I don't know, because it's so absurdly ridiculous you really can't analyze what they're doing. It's just totally insane.
Oh, really? Station manager Mason Muellmans was a level 30 in Farmville.
He was a level 30.
Yeah, after we're talking about two companies that we just don't like now.
Holy
Yes.
cow.
Yes, station
How much
manager.
money got sunk into that?
Yeah, Mason,
Wow.
if you're near, I'd like to actually talk about this.
Yeah, actually, if
you-
Mason does want to come in, he's more than welcome to
I
come
would
join us for
actually-
that.
I actually want to talk about that.
That's what is there a level cap in Farmville? I don't really understand like what their method is behind that. Could you only reach a certain level? No.
I never played more than that.
Okay.
I never played more than like the first like 2 weeks until I like
You
harvested.
played 2 weeks?
Yeah, but
I didn't even get to a harvest. That didn't even happen. Here he is.
Okay.
All right.
So this is an actual topic that I really like to talk about. So you played a lot of it, I'm assuming.
Farmville, yeah. 2 summers ago, before like it really blew up, I was.
You were into it before
Which
it was cool.
I was into it before it was cool.
About the same time that I was.
Yeah, probably.
So did you actually spend money on it?
No, I.
Okay.
I have more.
I don't think money integration was built into it yet.
Really?
When I played it.
I thought that was pretty much right away.
Yeah, that was right off the bat. They didn't promote it like they do now. Like they don't just try to tell you, "Hey, buy our stuff." You know, there weren't as many items and stuff like that you could buy, but it was available that you could purchase farm cash or whatever. But yeah, that's how it was in the beginning. And I will say on Farmville, level 1 through 20 was easy.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it takes a long time to level up in Farmville beyond level 20.
How many levels were there?
When I quit, I've already gone back in and I've seen up to like 52.
Wow.
I don't know if there's a cap.
Like I was saying,
there's a way to keep you hooked forever. Holy
mother
cow.
was probably in the 50s or higher.
And there's
all she did was that.
You know, they keep you hooked because there's some like crops you can't plant till level 80. It's like
oh my gosh.
It's the unreachable crop, or or the building or whatever, could help you be an even unnecessarily big farm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So wait, what kept you about that kind of game though? I don't never even saw the appeal of these
It turned
games.
into a competition between me and my roommate at the beginning, and then we both just.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
it
just
turned
like
into
you were
something
saying
to do
earlier
when
then.
we were extremely bored in the summer. When we got back to school, we had absolutely no time for it because it was literally like an hour a day of just clicking on every single square to harvest. Clicking on every single square to plant.
I just don't understand how people got that into that game then. I don't know. There were so many better games available.
See, but that's why I quit.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh. Level 101 plus?
You can keep going up.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine.
And there
the
are
time.
many many levels where you gain nothing.
So they just have a bunch of filler levels to make it so it takes forever.
Level 81, Farm Idol, gain nothing. Level 82, Agricultural Aficionado, gain nothing. Level 83, Soul Sage, gain nothing. Level 84, Crop Connoisseur, gain nothing.
People did that?
People did this.
People thought that was fun?
Okay, if people want to know like what time I quit, it was right when they came out with the cows in the milking parlor. Like you could put cows inside of a parlor.
I didn't play anywhere near that.
Yeah.
That's why like beginning of the school year 2 years ago is when I
that was about
when
the
I
same
gave
time.
up. Yeah. And by that point, yeah, you could have stored your cows that you had in the actual milking parlor, kept them there, and every 6 hours it was ready to empty out.
Now, were all of these things available without buying, or were some of them actually you had to buy?
Yeah, you earn, like, when you harvested your crops, you earned coins.
Okay.
And that's how you purchase, like, the certain animals. You can purchase better seeds for different crops and things like that. So money wasn't necessary in the beginning. I don't know how it is
and
now.
I think they start probably with 1,000 or something. That's what I remembered. Started with like 1,000 coins.
Yeah, and it was like 100 coins for
First
a plant.
taste is always free.
Yep.
I still can't believe this company's that big. Did you actually hear how big this company was when we were talking?
I was listening to the numbers, yeah. It's pretty startling.
And then they just pretty much poofed.
2,000 employees, and now they're down to $1 million in profit.
Fun dollars. Just saying.
Just from a morality standpoint, you really would have hoped that the runner or the CEOs, whoever was in charge of that company, would have said, we're growing too fast.
Well, I mean, they really had a lot of people essentially backing that kind of expansion. So many people thought that
Google invested almost $300 million
so many people
fund
thought
dollars.
that Facebook games were basically what gaming was going to become. Everyone just thought like, oh, we're going to integrate social media with video games, and then it'll be like the natural next step for video games. And then that crumbled, apparently.
You could post on your wall on Facebook what your highest score was in an old school version of GoldenEye or something like that. I do remember it happening 2 years ago. We were talking about it in my social media evolution class. Just, it's unbelievable what the marketing is in these alone. The Facebook advertising that they get out of this is just unbelievable.
They tried really hard, but I mean, it totally failed, and for some reason people won't give up on that, because that's exactly what they're doing with all these weird, like the Battlefield tie-in, the Call of Duty tie-in for Call of Duty Elite, and then there's one other big launch that's doing that, and I can't remember what it is. Oh no, isn't the Old Republic doing some social media thing with it?
The Old Republic through Origin was giving away extra things. If you pre-ordered it, you got some like crystal. but I remember something big through that because I know that Ubisoft's new stuff is all like fully integrated with Facebook.
Is it?
Yeah, and so like all the games that you can play from Ubisoft are just like fully integrated.
So it just seems like we basically just totally switched the direction, I guess. Then everyone thought it was going to be you go from Facebook to your games, and now it just seems like it's going to be games are all tying into them, as like a secondary aspect. Yeah.
And which is I think is the better way to do it.
Well, it's the way better way to do it. That's why Zynga is collapsing.
Yeah. Zynga might be able to pull it off. They might be able to pull themselves into a more of a PopCap sort of thing. You got to start making games.
Yeah, you cannot just keep making Blankville. After a little while, there's not even going to be a person that is going to buy that game anymore. You need to actually make, something interesting. PopCap does a pretty decent job of it. PopCap makes some ridiculous games out there. Every time I look at them, they're not like super high quality games, but they're interesting games, and they consistently put them out, which is totally the opposite of what Zynga does.
So I have 18 friends that play Cityville.
Oh, wow.
I've got 13 friends that play Gardens of Time. I have 21 friends.
Gardens of Time.
We have to talk about the Sims Social later, because that's the new version of The Sims. I have 21 friends that play Sims Social. Words with Friends. Yeah, Scrabble.
I heard a lot of that, actually.
That's because it's Scrabble.
Was that a Zynga game, though?
No.
Okay,
no,
I didn't think so.
Probably PopCap, if anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, that doesn't seem like any of their other games, so it doesn't sound very Zynga-ish.
It doesn't say on here.
Okay.
It just says Words with Friends, doesn't say who made it. But, yeah, I mean... talking at length about, all this... Zynga-related things kind of made me mad.
It is very frustrating to even think about. It's even more frustrating to see people keep playing them. It's harder to look at people and go, how do you not see that this is just a scam? I mean, that's what every one of those games has been so far.
The money that you've invested in Farmville...
can literally get you nothing.
If you're listening to me out there and you still play Farmville, and if you've invested money in it, the money you invested in that is nothing different than buying drugs. It's not, because you gain nothing.
Well... And I don't know. I mean, you technically you can make the same argument about a lot of like MMOs.
Yeah, you can.
You can't. Which I mean, personally, I kind of stand by that. That's why I still don't really play MMOs. But it's to a much bigger extent, because at least with MMOs, it was you pay once a month, you play as much as you want all month. With these, it's like the more you want to play, the more you have to pay. Like if you want to play a whole lot one week,
the more Doritos and the more Mountain Dew you have to buy. Talking about Call of Duty now. Now Call of Duty, you have become synonymous with the thing we're just talking about.
I just don't understand why we can't move away from this finally. Like there's so many different ways they keep trying to throw real world incentives into video games, and it makes no sense at all. Like, the fact that I'm already paying, like, $50 fun for a small bit of virtual reality is slightly off, but I'm at least getting one thing for one payment then.
Well, with Star Wars now, you're going to be paying the $60 fun to get into the world.
And then paying per month.
You're paying $15 per month, or $12 per month for 6 months, paying $75 fun.
Yeah, it's identical to WoW, right?
Yeah, it's identical. Personally, I have to say that the world that Star Wars created is going to be much more, vibrant and beautiful. But it's very strange to see that the world of video games has come to these extremes.
It is very extreme. I would agree with that, especially because there's so many games now that are like not quite AAA, but like large titles that are all free to play now too. So it's totally the opposite. Like you have Star Wars: The Old Republic, which just smells like money, and because of that, is an insane amount.
Which is why BioWare poured money into it.
Exactly. And then you have, like, City of Heroes and, like, every other smaller MMO, which is going free-to-play as a model now. Which, you could just see that becoming the norm. Either you're a monstrous game, and then you make people pay to buy you, or you're smaller and you hope to God that someone will see something in your little free-to-play store worth buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good conversation today.
Yes. We're pretty much towards the end of the show. Do we real quick want to mention, like, there's not a whole lot to say about this, but we have new information about Skyrim. Basically, we got all the perk trees, which, if you haven't been keeping up with it, basically the way it's going to be now is when you're leveling up, like, one thing, instead of in Oblivion, where you would level up and, like, every 25, you would get a new ability. It's an actual, like, perk tree where you can, like, pick which direction you want to go with it.
That's
and
nice.
it's a constellation is the way they're doing it for the UI, which looks really cool. And then you actually get some options. You can be a specific type of, like, archer then if you want to, which is cool. I like the flexibility. And we've gotten all of the classifications, which, I mean, they're barely worth reading. They're all really cool to look up and look at, but they don't make for good radio
if you
play.
Really like to, talk about it and look at Skyrim and look at other games that are like Skyrim. And
it's pretty
Morrowind
interesting.
And you've played Oblivion.
Yeah, they've definitely made a lot of pretty cool changes. And then also, if you played Oblivion, you probably remember that there were like 8 people doing the voices. I think there were seriously, 10 voice actors in the whole game. And that was something that was very funny. And like, there was one big one. They had Patrick Stewart doing
and
the
Sean
king.
Bean.
Really?
Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean.
Oh,
Sean
I thought
Bean,
it was
Sean
just
Bean
Patrick
was,
Stewart.
Uriel, or the
Uriel Septim?
Yeah, the son.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can't remember what his
Patrick Stewart
name.
was the father, and Sean Bean was the son.
Okay, that makes sense.
When you come into Oblivion and you're not expecting voice actors, like holy crap, it's Patrick Stewart.
And then you spend the rest of the game
back for Elder Scrolls.
No,
I don't think they've said anything about that, but they have some big people. Christopher Plummer.
They have Linda Carter, who I would not have recognized if they hadn't told me.
Woman.
Yes, it's Wonder Woman from the old '70s show.
Nice.
We
classy.
have Michael Hogan from Battlestar Galactica, Vladimir Kulich from the 13th Warrior, and
who did
Smokin'
Hogan
Aces.
play on Battlestar?
He played Imperial General Tullius, in charge of crushing the Stormcloak Rebellion. I have no idea what any of those mean.
I didn't watch Battlestar.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, anyone watching the show, I'm sure me and Buffalo can figure that one out because we both watch that show. So if you want to stay tuned to Sports Beat, we'll open with that. We'll break down that.
But yeah, they have 70 voice actors now, and 60,000 lines of dialogue.
That's a lot more than 10 voice actors of the same people saying the same thing.
Saying
right there,
stop with their
Imperial
criminals.
scum.
I say that's expanding pretty well.
Yeah.
Which,
Well,
I mean, you already saw that with Fallout. Fallout was awesome, I thought.
Fallout, they made a ton of money.
Yeah, they made a ton of money, but
first of all, you have to have money to hire voice actors. So when you start out with a voice budget and you pick Patrick Stewart and Sean Bean,
then you run out. Yeah,
you run out of money quickly.
So you just get the person in the
10
lobby to
other people.
record a few things.
Hey, Mr. Janitor, come here. We gotta record this character. He's a main character. We need you to voice him. Come here.
Either that or you just record Stewart without him really knowing, and you just use that dialogue as well. Like, get me a ham sandwich.
Find a way to write that into the game. Go.
Write the game around him. Go. We've only got a couple days. It's supposed to be out last week.
Improv video game writing.
Yes. Thank you for listening to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming.
Yes. Up next is Sports Beat.
We hope you really loved our show. We will be at the Tech Lounge after this, playing some.
If you want to meet a real celebrity.
Yes, if you want to meet us.
Whoa.
Whoa.
If me and Buffalo can't call ourselves celebrities, you guys definitely.
Who says you can't?
Yeah. Who says you can't?
I thought we put an.
Who establishes celebrity?
The fans do.
That's true, I guess.
We have
if you want to and you think that we're celebrities, you can tell us to call ourselves celebrities then.
Yeah, if one fan says we can call ourselves celebrities that is not related to us or in love with us.
Cameron's not allowed to. Because Cameron's like your main contributor on Facebook right now.
No, he's not.
Today he's kind of been.
Today he is? Okay.
No, there's other people that have put way more on there, but...
To arms, people.
To arms. Fans, take down the sports people. All
right, we should be done here.
Yes.
It's the top of the hour.
It's the top of the hour.
What did you pick out?
I picked Good Grief because it's got
Good Grief.
2 minutes
Yes,
long.
our own former staff members.
Yes. Thank you for listening to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming. You can like us on Facebook if you want to.
Don't do it.
Or you can like
the
sports page also if you want to, but don't do it.
That you should. Well, we can't tell you to, but